I got a water bottle in my pocket.
We're testing.
And I hope it's starting to melt. I got an email in my pocket. And I hope it's starting to melt.
Gary Larson is about the same to me as Shel Silverstein in the way of creativity.
He's a neat fella, no less, perhaps even.
Indeed.
Probably some of the best freaking cartoons I've read, really.
There's this one interview. Yeah. He did one panel where it's like a cow on a bench, and it's just like absurd shapes, and it's like the cow tools of the trade. And he says, I want to for how many letters I get asking, what is this joke about? And it's nothing. Quit asking me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that one. It's just like these random things on this day.
Yeah, the cow
like
tools
one
of the trade.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to crawl into a hole and disappear.
Yeah.
If I could go back, I'd never make this comic.
I'm pretty sure I have that one in one of these books. I think I have it's this one. I'm pretty sure it's in. It's one of these. I think it's this one. It's this one. The last chapter or worse. I'm pretty sure it's in this one.
Or worse.
Yeah, you got multiple Far Side books. That's awesome.
I know.
That's I used to be real big on Shel Silverstein back in grade school.
Didn't he do like the tree, the
attic, or something?
The tree and the stump, the
giving tree,
the apple and the little boy,
What the hell are you talking about?
NATO in there.
Useless.
Ooh.
I'm looking for the conversation starters.
Cat food. The subject is cat food.
Doesn't taste very good.
Smells pretty good.
I mean, yeah, it smells good the same way Spam smells good.
What doesn't smell good?
Have you ever been to a grocery store in Hawaii?
No.
They'll have an entire aisle dedicated to different types of
jazz
spam.
crabs.
When I was a kid,
a wee bab, no less. Wait.
I used to have the kind of the spam that wasn't a brick. It was like sandwich spread spam.
Sandwich like spreadable?
Yeah.
Like a goo?
Yeah.
A paste?
Yeah.
A meaty paste?
Yes. It was really good.
Like when you're in a haste?
Yes, a paste for when you're in a haste and you need a meal to satisfy the taste. And so yeah,
Jeremy, I might be falling for you.
Right. Sometimes I've got a rhyme or two.
All right, back to Puudonkis again, and
hello.
Today's question is, what were you like as a kid?
Autistic and insane and violent.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I was gonna go with more like idiotic, but like ADHD ridden hell child.
Dude, I was like super shy. I just like I didn't like people very much, like at all. I spent a lot of time just like not wanting to exist.
Yeah, I would pretend to be a velociraptor and chase and jump and claw and bite other kids.
Oh, and then there's a time where you pretended to be a robot, and if you twisted one nipple, it would turn up the volume, the other one would change the pitch.
Yep. I would hum a song, and I would be a living ray in the face. Jeremy's face right now. J-Man's face right now. So at one point when I was a kid, I pretended to be a radio robot, and I would hum a song. And the kids would twist one nipple, it would change the song. They twist the other, it would change the volume. I'll never forget that. Well, unfortunately,
creative children.
I got like all my parents say I was up until puberty. I was just nonstop like fury and wind, and then when I hit puberty, I just mellowed out. It was like the opposite of what they expected. They thought I was gonna die when I was 8. They're like, "There's no way this kid's living."
Well, I was, I guess, bad enough to the point where they had to give me my chill pills, like legit chill pills, and
Valium and lithium.
This I don't think so. But they were like, they weren't comically large pills, but they were big, and as a kid I couldn't down the. Just like I choke on the stupid things. And one time I took one before I got on the bus, and I made it like halfway to school before somehow, I don't know why, it was like some latent thing where I didn't want to go, and then I was like choking on the bus, and I had to stop at the school district office where I'm just like,
I'm
the
dying.
bus driver just like, get on the bus.
You're just like, I'm just dying.
And then it finally went and they gave me some water and I was okay. And then I was just like, wow, I got to hang out at the district office with a bunch of pencil pushers that decide whether or not we have snow days or not. Just crap on your desk. But
Man, I never had to take meds when I was a kid. I spent a lot. I guess my mom always sent me outside. She's like, if you're bored, go outside and find something to do. So I usually go play in the mud or play with the cat. I loved the cat. We had this old cat. I mean, it wasn't even that old, but he was a really chill cat, and he had like his tail got run over, and so he had like a really short nub tail. He would like wag his tail when he'd get excited.
Little
nub
popcorn.
tail, so just go back and forth, back and forth. So he would purr super, super loud. You'd hear him upstairs when he would purr. So you'd like accidentally get in their basement and he'd just be purring and I'd be like, oh, hey, the cat's inside. So I'd go play with the cat.
Have a good old time.
And at one point, the cat got thrown out of the second story of the house because my older sister, because he was technically my older sister's cat. And my parents had told my older sister to put the cat out, and my sister,
okay, fine.
Not realizing that the cat just needed to go downstairs, decided to just throw the cat out the window.
Oh yes, the reason.
Fortunately, the cat survived and was unharmed from it, but that cat had 9 lives. And I let the cat in and run around in the basement with the cat and crawl into things. And then I would let the cat into the bag of cat food, and I would crawl in the bag of cat food with the cat and eat the cat food with him. He was my best friend.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it's probably why I'm really messed up as an adult.
Is this why I catch you in the pet store just huffing the smell like...
You know, well, I mean...
It's like, ooh, this cat food's way better than this stuff.
you open up a can of Friskies, you're like, oh, this takes me back.
Well, you know, I was eating like that really dry co-op cat food, so it's just like the generic cat food stuff.
Oh, it's
the cat food for like farm cats.
Yeah, this farm cat
It's
stuff.
made out of like organs and factory sweepings.
Yeah, right. So I was just like eating this stuff, and I was like, I don't even know why I did it. But I was like, I would eat dog food. I ate some dog food. I was like, I don't like dog food. It's not nearly as good as cat food.
I'm told that as a wee toddler, I did eat dog food as well. But when it comes to animals, I never did that. But my neighbor, when I was a kid and we had a tree house, it's going to come into play later, trust me. But my neighbor had a turkey, or a pair of turkeys.
Oh.
That were on the other side of a fence.
Like for meat? Why just a pair?
I don't know. I'm still confused to this day as to why this dude got turkeys, because...
They just exist.
They're just there. And one day, one of them got out and wreaked havoc on the town, and they had to call my neighbor to come pick up the turkey because the police literally couldn't handle a turkey. But
your tax dollars at work.
Yes, that was pretty funny. So basically, we've established the fact that this turkey is probably not a very nice turkey. So
Chief Wiggum couldn't take him down.
Correct. So we have these pear or like plum, weird little sugar plum trees that grow 2 different colors of berries, and I would always take them and I'd feed them to these turkeys on the other side of the fence. And one day I was giving them some berries and I was trying to pet them and stuff, and like I bent down to pick up one, and that SOB pecked me right on the top of the head, right hard. I was like, almost made me cry. Like, oh,
he reopened your soft spot.
Pretty much. And so from then on, it was like, okay, you son of a this is war. And so I go grab the BB gun. I'd shoot him with the BB gun. Yeah, and I just like, he'd flap and stuff and get all mad, and thing got bad enough where it finally jumped into my yard, chased me around my yard for like a solid couple minutes, and I had to like retreat up to the tree house. Was the only place that thing couldn't catch me, and I was just like scared to death of this turkey that was like mad.
The neighbor's watching like, yes.
He had to get, like, just like the police, he had to come collect the turkey and throw him back over the fence.
I want turkeys now.
Yeah, I've watched the wild ones fight at my place. They're pretty vicious. It's interesting the way they fight, but yeah.
You know, I recently learned that wild turkeys are so smart that they'll build false nests, and if they think they're being pursued by anything, they'll go settle at their false nest for a bit, dive off, and then go to their real nest.
Huh.
I was like, boy, no drowning in the rain for these guys.
And you know, that is a very intelligent behavior. But on the other hand, you see turkeys try to inhabit a tree that is far smaller than their weight would allow.
Yeah.
And they're not very graceful about it either.
No.
A delightful stick just for me.
Well, it's just like this half-inch thick twig that's poking off of a tree. Yeah, sure, that'll hold my weight. 20-pound turkey.
Snaps off.
Yeah.
There was this one time I was watching the turkeys at my parents' place when I was younger, and this turkey was flying. This wild turkey was flying off the hill, and for some reason, it miscalculated where it was going or something, and it ended up going straight for these this
Fork.
Yeah, this fork in the tree, where it was pretty close together, like not wide enough for its wingspan, and it's currently flying, and so you watch this turkey and like, is that turkey like just gonna straight up like just knock its wings straight off? And you watch it's flying along, and then it just folds its wings in for half a second, goes through it, and like whips them back out on the other side.
That was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's like, damn, it's like that could have been bad, but that turkey was just like, I'm sure he was like. He was probably getting real freaked out for a minute.
You always see those videos of like kestrels and small birds being out, very agile and going through things. I want to see a big fat wumbly turkey go through one of those courses. Like, he like pulls a stunt like that.
They're not so graceful.
No.
Graceful
not so graceful.
It's like watching Whoopi Goldberg do tricks.
Well, it's like at times, like over your house, they. Like almost like 80 of them sitting in one tree.
Oh yeah.
And after a while, like the whole sitting on branches that can't hold their weight type thing. Then you eventually just see basketballs with feathers like falling from the sky, and it never fails to be just hilarious.
Dude, it's so comedic watching them come in. Dude, it's so I enjoy watching them because they just they flop around and like fall out of the tree.
They make me feel smart. It's the kind of the whole same thing with deer too. It's like deer out in the wild. When you're out hunting deer, they're incredibly observant, and they know where you are and all this other stuff, and they run away at the slightest inclination of something remotely threatening being within a half a mile of them, and then they're there next to a roadway, and then it suddenly is just, and they just like stop thinking.
Well, just like you were asking about my bumper, that one was moving. He was just motoring along. I'm like, okay, I don't even have to do anything, and I'll dodge him. And then he changes direction. I'm like, okay, I've got this still. Then he changes direction a second time.
Yeah.
I'm like, God bless America. I mean, my perfectly good plastic Japanese bumper.
Right. Or hey, when we were coming back from Harris Park at one time in the Volkswagen.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, we were just bebopping along. It was dark, and you guys were telling me all about how murders and like.
Everything had happened.
Overall,
ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, that's a perfect word for it. Ne'er-do-wells with banjos come out at night, and I was just like, I really don't want to be here. Let's go. And so I was very much motoring away from Harris Park, and
that was what I was trying to do when I freaking saw the shadow freaking go into the bushes. I was like, woo!
Hell no! To the hell no, no! And then we just kind of on, and then we see a really nice buck who was standing in the middle of the road. And I was doing like 40, and I just jammed on it and like
evasive maneuvers.
Oh yeah, evasive. It was like the perfect maneuver. The deer jumped out of the way. Even if he didn't, I would have skirted around him. And I was like, wow, that was boy. That was almost bad. That dude would have freaking flew through the windshield. I mean, the Volkswagen is so squatty. And then Pate's like, yeah, okay, that was good. Like, what? Like, give me a C+ on not hitting a deer?
That was alright.
Beats the time that we almost stuffed a Cadillac into a bank. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Cinder blocks.
Hey, you can blame that other guy for it because he told me while I was doing like 80 that we got to take this next turn, and I was like,
it's in like 100 yards.
Yeah.
No coasting into that one.
Yeah, that sugar daddy guy would probably not be very excited. If we
After I just got done putting an engine in that one.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Back to our childhood.
Yeah.
Technically,
Sugar Daddy.
No, technically that wasn't. That was a while ago.
It's still technically childhood.
What are you talking about? 2016 was 8 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Right? Jimmy, you haven't shared a story from your childhood yet.
Give me a subject. There's too many.
I have no idea. I remember you told me a time where your parents took all your toys away and left you with a shoebox and a string.
Oh yeah, as punishment. So as a kid, I'd just play with anything, but I don't even remember what the punishment was about. But they took all my toys away. They took away the Genesis. They left me in an empty room. All it needed was the padded walls, and but I found a shoestring, and I defiantly played with that shoestring like, ha!
See, I can have fun with anything.
I'm like,
you can't defeat me.
I'm like, that's a giant sandworm, and I got my eyeball down to the carpet like, ugh. My parents did the best they could. I think some old lady called me like a devil child, and I was just so non-stop insanity as a kid, just unending, vocally and moving and running around. You know, in Smiling Friends, those kids Pim has where they're like,
oh yeah,
that was me from 0 till 11, and then puberty hit me like a truck, and I'm like, hello.
Then he grows beard and goes bald by the age of 16.
Yeah, there was a couple of trade-offs.
It's like you pull on the hair on your chin and it all just goes from your head down to your chin.
Basically,
well,
Jimmy has had a beard. What's his name here sitting next to me?
Oh no, Jimmy works either way. My name's public on the Ovvkoz channel.
Oh, all right, okay. Well,
James Brower.
Anyways, this guy over here, bald guy, has had a beard ever since I've basically known him. Actually,
literally,
you literally.
Yeah.
I mean, you had short hair when I first met you, but then it wasn't too long after that where you just started shaving it completely off.
Because so when I say puberty hit me like a truck, I mean it was just all at once, and. Like, the beard came in, it was patchy, but it was freshman year, and I had a patch beard going. And my hair was thinning. I didn't realize it till I looked at pictures later, and I'm like, whoa! But when I was growing, my bones were growing quicker than my tendons could adapt. So a lot of the bones in my feet were growing, curved and inwards. Because the bones kept going, the epiphysis was, moving on forward, but those tendons were having a hard time keeping up.
He's got some pretty gnarly scars on his feet.
I do, and my shoulder and my chin. Oh, you can even see my chin one now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, huh.
But, yeah.
Seeing all new sides of Jimmy now that his beard's gone.
I know. I feel everything on my face.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, the entire time I've known you, I've known you with the big honking beard.
Yeah, like a Rasputin beard going on.
Pretty much.
And so now it's just like, oh my god, babyface Jimmy.
Babyface.
It's like
Babyface Nelson.
Babyface. My name's not Babyface. It's James Nelson. But and now I fear the same for I go to a wedding in the next couple months, and the theme is 50s, and not a lot of dudes had facial hair in the 50s, so I'm gonna have to go babyface.
Babyface Nelson.
Babyface Nelson. Or I was thinking that I could just at least stylize it and do a little curly mustache or do something goofy like
Dude,
that.
I had big plans when I had a beard and mustache. It came way late, and I'd stopped growing in the 8th grade. So.
Oh, all that cat food didn't help.
No, it stunted my growth. Well, maybe it's all that coffee. My parents kept saying if I drank coffee, it would stunt my growth. But I always figured that was a joke, but maybe it wasn't.
Oh.
When I
drank so much coffee.
When I started drinking coffee in like grade school, I put so much sugar in my coffee. It's amazing I'm still alive.
I mean, you're pre-diabetic, but whatever.
I know. Yeah, no, seriously, my family has a running, like, check of diabetes. And so, one time I go to my doctor in the past 10 years, I'm like, hey, can we do some blood checking to see if I'm...
Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, and he's like, no, you're 25, you're fine. I'm like, that's...
Do you want me to die?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much it. That's like half of my freaking family is diabetic, you dingleberry. Yeah, just check my blood.
I got the genetic lottery. Just be like, I've just been drinking hummingbird syrup my whole childhood.
Honestly, that's
basically
what it feels like. And now I drink coffee with like almost unsweetened.
I just eat the beans out of the bag, but that's purely because of laziness.
Do you even get the caffeine from that, or is it just like what? Like, how does that even work?
Oh no, it works. You get more bean per bean eating the whole bean.
Yes.
Okay, I guess that.
And it's actually,
I loved eating coffee beans when I was a little kid. I can't really do it anymore. Like the grounds just like stick in my mouth.
I'm starting to like it though. I'm starting to get it. I enjoy the crunch and the bunch.
Actually, did you ever eat the beans? You know how in the grocery store, when you go through the grocery store, they had the little coffee grinder. You know, you get your beans and you grind it, put it in a little paper bag.
Mm-hmm.
And
what happened to that?
Yeah,
it's one of those things that just
disappeared. They still do exist.
YouTube got rid of it.
Yeah, YouTube got rid of it.
Blame YouTube.
Susan Wojcicki.
They still do exist, and actually, there is still one in one of the stores here locally. But
is it? Oh yeah, Andy's.
No.
That was my
One.
guess.
But I think Andy's might still have one too. Super One's got one. But I remember like most of even your small grocery stores had those, but there would always be a few beans that would fall down in the tray.
Yeah.
So as I'd go, like as a little kid, you'd go by and like, oh look at these beans, and like pick them up and like eat them. I think about that now, and I'm like, dude, why did I do that? That is so gross.
That's how you get a good immune system.
I was gonna say that was before the pandemic, so it was all okay.
Right.
That was 1990. Those were 1990s pandemic
probably
germs.
like that probably was. It's probably like 1990 freaking 8 or something, or 1996.
Oh, yeah. That's
like, walking through the grocery store with my mom. She'd be like, here's a quarter. Go get yourself some candy. Like, woo, I could buy so much candy with this. Now I walk into the store and like, I want to buy a pack of gum. That's like $2.50. Oh.
I need to have a job to afford gum.
What happened to being like $1, like, or 75 cents? Or you used to buy like double mint, or you could, what was it? The double mint, like 5-stick packs are like 5 cents.
But I remember
or 10 cents.
It like
what was that other gum? The one that
had like a zebra.
Yeah,
the rainbow zebra in like a little box.
The 5-second flavor gum.
Yeah, it was like a piece of balsa wood with sugar on it.
Right. Dude, I remember my sister would buy that, and like she wouldn't share it, and like my mom was like, "You got to share," and then like she'd here have one, and then they had each. Well, for a little while they were wrapped in the paper.
Yeah. It was like part of the zebra.
Yeah,
stripes.
Right. But then later on, they had for a little while they had them wrapped in what was like a wax paper type material that actually they had tattoos on them.
Oh yeah, I remember those. The Bazooka Joe gum had same thing, I think.
Yeah,
wasn't Bazooka
I don't remember
gum
the Bazooka.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bazooka had. Actually, you're right. I think I do remember the Bazooka having it. But I remember the zebra stripes having the tattoos on the actual wrapper, which was really weird.
Yeah, you had to have so much patience to do that. You had to get them wet, like lick them and do all this other stuff, and then hold them on your hand for felt like an hour and a half. And then you'd get a really crappy tattoo that if you moved at all, And like, it was really hard to get them to where you could actually see them.
And the thing,
like,
but the thing was, is like they were like the ink. It was like an ink transfer. It wasn't like the ones where it puts the little like cellophane thing on you now. Mm-hmm. Like they were
like a henna tattoo.
Well, kind of, but it was the ink. It was like an ink transfer. So if you got them too wet. If you got them too wet, the ink would all fall off and like pull up into like a thing, and it was
an amorphous blob of ink on your hand.
Yeah, well, it didn't even stick. It just like I remember trying to do it with like a washcloth, like you're supposed to do. Like at the time when you got those temporary tattoos, you used a washcloth, right? You put the damp washcloth on it. And then it sticks on.
It's like, that's not how the real world works, unfortunately.
No.
Isn't that what they do in the parlors all day?
Yeah. When you were doing that as a kid, and then you'd see somebody with like a full sleeve of like real tattoos, it's like, man, that must have taken forever to put on with like all the cells, like the paper, and like you'd say,
oh yeah,
like you must have eaten a whole bunch of gum. How'd you get those funny colors? Like.
He's like, never skip jaw day.
The other thing about my childhood is I wore glasses pretty much since I was age of 2.
You came out of the womb with glasses, I remember.
Basically.
They're like the Coke bottle glasses. Like you had hella lenses.
Well, that's what that was what was available then.
I remember looking at the doctor and be like, that boy was born with some glasses.
I bet you could use your old glasses to like fry ant colonies.
I tried.
Oh no, you tried.
They're the wrong kind because I'm nearsighted. If I was farsighted, yeah, they actually magnify the sun. But if you're nearsighted, it doesn't work. It just
so it works the other way to where the sun fries your eyeballs.
Sort of. Not really. I did do the sun stare when I was little.
Oh yeah, because that helps.
It gives you superpowers. Yeah.
Well, you're a little kid. You're just like, hey, what's that bright thing? I want to look at it. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, okay, well, I don't really see anything now. Okay.
I remember as a kid being told not to look at the sun, but it's like, but I have sunglasses.
Yeah, right? That should mean you should be able to look at the sun. I remember that too. I'd put sunglasses on and be like, I have sunglasses, looks at sun. That's still really bright. These sunglasses suck. They don't block the sun at all.
Now we have to squint at road signs. Do you guys want to have a sun staring contest tomorrow?
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get 6 seconds on the sun stare.
It's like the rodeo.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
We'll wear assless chaps and everything.
And then the rodeo clowns come and just tackle you at the end 8 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Rodeo one tackles you, one goes up to the sun and tackles you.
How's your sun?
Distracts it. Then it gets dark.
Oh my.
Then you have your sun stare form. Did he blink? Did he wince?
Back to the replay.
Oh, we got a little bit of wincing.
We got a winchman. Oh.
There's a one eye closure. Oh, he's trading eyes.
Well, see, that's not fair because I close one of my eyes all the time. I don't even think about it. They even put a little silicone strap in my eyelid so I can help hold it up more. But now I can like totally give people the stank eye. I can lift my brow up and I'll be like do the rock status almost.
Right.
But
I see it now.
Yeah.
I used to have a little bit of a lazy eye too, and they were able to correct that when I was younger. And it still gives me problems today. Actually, when I'm tired, it actually gives me a lot of problems. It makes it even hard to drive.
You have like ocular muscles that are just like, hey man, we're done for the day.
They get tired. They get really tired, and I can't. It's really hard to function. Like I'll be even watching movies. Like I have to close one eye to watch movies at night sometimes.
What are your eyes?
I'm really tired.
I was just like, we've had a full day, bro.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like you're relaxing, but we're doing all the work here.
You don't notice it until like your other eye starts to hurt, and you're like, wow, why does my eye ache? It's like I got an eye ache, and then you're like, oh yeah, I should probably just go to bed. But it's 9:30.
Right. When I was little, they tried to help me correct I got astigmatism in one of my eyes, and they tried to help me by forcing me to put like a Band-Aid that's shaped like an eye patch over my eye, which was irritating in itself to not just have a normal eye patch like a regular pirate. So
you're like, come on, if you're giving me a patch, give me something fun.
Right. So I had to wear this stupid eye patch thing, and they told me to watch an entire movie with my bad eye, and I was just like, I cannot, like, after about 20 minutes, I could not stand it anymore.
What movie was it?
And you start to get a headache, too.
Yeah. It was the old Disney cartoon with Donald and then the green parrot guy and Daffy and they're or not Daffy.
Oh,
and they're in Mexico or something.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, but I don't know the name. It's like the Three Caballeros or something.
Three Caballeros, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was that, and then the one where it's basically like they're in World War One, and it's like horrifying. And, like they're slicing up a bean, and then Donald Duck wants to commit suicide, I guess, and it gets really...
it's really, Jack and the Beanstalk, and they're like trying to ration their food.
Yes, it was a combo pack. It was that one, and then another one that I can't begin to remember, but yeah.
Turns out it wasn't for your eye. It was a what do you call it? An MK Ultra project, and they're just turning you into a sleeper agent.
Pretty much. Just secretly getting me ready for World War III.
Yeah.
I'll be able to take like paper thin slices off of beans.
That's your job.
With those little plastic knives.
So like we need you to go into Ukraine and slice beans.
Right.
Is that what you've been uppity lately? Kind of like, man, something deep inside makes me want to take a plane to the east, go overseas.
Not a bean counter anymore. You're a bean slicer.
Yeah, it's just like. And now it's like I see really thinly sliced stuff, and it's just like, ooh, like that's almost arousing. Almost.
You have a long day at work, and you're like, man, I just want to slice some bread. It's like
it's like potato chips.
Potato chip bread.
Yeah, they're all thinly sliced potatoes.
Well, don't get excited about Lay's now.
Oh God, I hate Lay's though. That's the problem. It's like, oh, you can't have just one. Oh, but wait.
I absolutely can.
You underestimate my power.
Lay's is weird for being so thin but so greasy.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
How can you pack so much grease into such a wafer?
I think the only potato chips I like and enjoy are the those local Tim's ones.
Oh, the baked
those sweet Maui onion chips.
Oh yeah.
Those are good.
The
snack fairy at my work gets those, and
the baked Lay's I've found are pretty good though. They're not as greasy.
The baked Lay's.
Yeah, they're actually really good.
Those baked Cheetos I like more than regular Cheetos.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing about like when we were younger. Like, think about how many like chip brands there were when you go through the store.
Didn't Lay's have like a phase not too long ago where they were coming out with all these wacky flavors?
Yeah, they were. It was like
and then you
5 years
voted
ago.
on them.
It was like toothpaste and vinegar.
Yeah, they had like some weird ones.
Well, they had like a chicken one. They had like a Thai one that actually I thought was pretty good. It was like a spicy Thai one. I don't even remember the name of it now.
That was weirdly fun. I liked that.
Yeah,
it's very gimmicky.
It was like the McDonald's website where you could make the burgers, but they had it. But Lay's had the same
the jokes.
Ron's creamy surprise.
But Lay's had the same thing where you could actually create your own chips. So that's where like the vinegar and toothpaste, and there was like waffle flavor, and like
the Hitler did nothing wrong flavor.
Right? Oh gosh. Oh man.
What was one of those other McDonald's ones? Just like the Pounder Pounders.
It's like Girth.
Yeah, Girth. It was just all patties, like 13 of them, and then I think it was like a slap of lettuce on the very top of it.
They had like Communist Delight, and it was just bread.
Oh my gosh, that was.
Another gimmick chip that was fantastic, and I'm glad they took it away, otherwise I'd be more obese than I already am. But they had these chocolate-covered thick potato chips, and they'd come in like these small bags, and they were fantastic, and it was horrible.
Dude, who made it?
Oh gosh, I can't even...
I want to say it was Lay's, but
That's
I think it's Lay's.
Like, the nutrition facts was terrifying, but it was so good I couldn't stop eating.
Well, it's like, I went down to Ovvkoz one time, and they have a candy shop down there that has a bunch of gimmicky candy, and they had like candy coated crickets in a box, which is we had them actually. One time I was like, well, whatever, I've got money, I'll just buy these stupid things and see who's gonna eat. Nobody. I had to eat all of the crickets. It was terrible. That and like candy coated bacon. Or like a chocolate coated bacon.
Well, I mean, I'd do the chocolate coated bacon.
Well, hell yes, it was delicious.
See?
But
if it has bacon, it's great. Oh, yeah, it was Lay's.
Yep. What?
I got these,
Heart attack.
I got these turtle Walmart brownies, and I ate one whole one. And there's like 4 in the package, and I'm like, oh yeah, so one of these is like just one brownie, right? All right, that's cool. So I'm like, I eat it, I flip it over, and the freaking brownie, it says on the back, 1/2 of one is like 320 calories, and I just ate a whole one, and it was like 640 calories I just consumed in one sitting. I'm like,
God.
dude, I'm gonna die.
I was looking at this like, well, that's not so bad, and then I see 5 servings per container.
And the containers are tiny.
Yes.
What's the net? Does it have a net weight on there?
It's like one of those snack bags, but this says 5 servings per container. So that's like 1 or 2 chips.
Yeah, and each one has 9 grams of fat in it.
Oh god.
And 17 grams of carbs. And 12 grams of sugar. So you are basically eating a can worth of pop worth of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
This meal has been brought to you by diabetes.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Brought to you by Big Pharma.
Calcium. No, it's got 2% calcium. It's a health food.
Oh, hell yeah, there we go.
Oh, those cosmic brownies.
Dude, those things are terrible, but they're
Terribly
They're so
good.
waxy.
terribly
They're so
good.
waxy, but the little like M&M looking, the little multicolored like M&M chocolate things on it. Oh my god.
Yeah. My grandpa loves Little Debbie's, and like he'd always have some around, so I'd get some of the cosmic brownies. And then I watched my girlfriend eat like a whole box in one sitting. Not of the cosmic brownies, but of like the zebra cakes or something. I was like,
It's like, how can you even
dude,
do that?
you're gonna have like
Diabetes coma.
I'm gonna have to like take you to the hospital.
It's like
there's like a nothing natural in those.
Her
And that
blood
concerns
content
me.
is nothing but insulin.
Right. Yeah, nothing but insulin.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have had coffee, but it didn't stunt my growth like it did you, Betty.
That was the cat food.
Maybe it was
That was the cat food.
maybe it was a lack of the coffee. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't have much coffee as a kid. I didn't have a lot of coffee until after high school.
Yeah, we were always trying to be careful about like the caffeine, anyways, because like I had a friend that was pretty sensitive to it, so we tried to get like soda that had like no caffeine in it.
You know what I did have a lot of though as a kid was we'd have a ton of Subway. Because my dad worked in like this little podunk irrigation store in Richland. And there was a Subway right there. So we go visit Dad each day. Or, help him with his commute. Maybe that's why puberty was so dang bad. Is just like I had all those Subway hormones in my system.
Oh gosh.
Subway hormones.
It was like, time to bald. Get those bones going.
Well, no, it's like
You just
it's like
turned
the,
into a middle-aged man before you were a middle-aged man.
Yeah, be like, hello. Oh no, the turkey provolone got me, guys.
I am the middle-aged child.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's like don't eat the tuna. It's not really tuna.
Yeah. So
It's fish products.
it's yolk. It's the factory scrapings.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like you know what the fish food that they feed fish and like in the nurseries and shit and stuff is
Nurseries?
Corn.
Oh, the hatcheries.
hatcheries. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a nursery with hatching and fish.
There you go.
But I saw
Fish
a documentary.
farm.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on it where it's literally the ones that die or whatever, they get harvested and then they get put into a grinder and turned into basically fish food.
That's how you get prion disease. I'm gonna look that up.
It's just
Well, I mean-
recycling them back in there so you don't have to feed them.
Well, if you think about it, in a natural setting, they would technically be eating each other. Like I've watched it happen in the creeks and stuff next to my parents' house.
Oh, dude,
kinda hot.
they're cannibalistic as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
Like,
Well, same with chickens.
yeah. Chickens are just.
I love those little.
Dude, I had so much fun with the chickens when I was younger too. I'd play with the chickens with a laser pointer, and they'd actually follow it around, and I'd shine the laser pointer on them, and they'd try to peck it off themselves. It is
What?
so funny.
We should open a chicken farm and then subsequently a gator farm.
So gator meat.
Yep. Up
Oh
we're gonna-
no, chicken flavored gator meat because the
Yeah.
gators are obviously going to eat the chickens
Well, no. Here's my plan.
or like sacrificial chicken to the gator.
So we have the egg farm going, and then when the hens get too old, we feed them to the gators, and then we have a gator farm going, and then since we're in the mountains, whatever wild animals come into the place, they hop the fence, Like, haha, let's see what their garden has. Splash! Surprise! That's not a log!
That's a
That's a
gator.
death roll.
You're dead. And then it means all your neighbors, if they randomly show up, and they'll just be attacked by all these gators.
It feeds the gators for a day. No neighbors. It's a win-win.
Oh,
Yeah,
and you
no,
gotta
see-
have pigs, though, to clean up the bones.
Yeah.
Oh, I think gators digest bones okay.
Do they? Like, if you fed a human to gators, would all the bones disappear?
I think so. Like, gator gastric acid is like bonkers.
This,
I
this
know.
is starting to turn into a Criminal Minds episode.
Well, I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Not that I want to murder anybody or anything.
In
but
Minecraft,
but
Well, just options.
just options, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
the pig pen has always been a good option. It's been a good option for a lot of years.
It's well documented.
It's well documented, yes.
Feds come, they say, and then they go.
Yeah.
And never to be seen again.
Wasn't that like a plot point in that one movie that every white woman likes? Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, I thought.
Oh,
What?
yeah. No,
Weren't they like feeding people to the pigs? And
no, they didn't feed people to pigs. They fed people to the people.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
Soylent Green.
No.
Well,
There's
also yes.
there's that movie, but there's this other movie called Fried Green Tomatoes. It's actually pretty fun.
It is. I tease about the white woman enjoying a thing, but my mom made me watch it, and I was like, that's actually good.
It's actually pretty funny. I enjoyed it. But there's a murder that happens. And they're trying to find the evidence. They're trying to find a body, and they can't find a body or anything. And so there's like this federal agent that shows up, and he eats the barbecue at the
Yeah, he like goes to the
restaurant.
barbecue like every day.
Yeah, he goes to the barbecue every day, and they end up. What they did is they barbecued the guy up and fed it to the federal agent, and he never knew. He digested all the evidence.
Yep.
It's like that's pretty genius.
That's pretty metal.
It's kind of hot.
I don't know if I go that far.
Some differing of opinions.
Maybe if the federal agent was like a hot babe Tilda.
It's like a metronome. Over here we have Jimmy. Over here we have everybody else, and it just kind of furiously goes back and forth.
That's horrible. That's hot.
And it's all to the tune of Beethoven.
Right.
Like the first movement of Moonlight Sonata. That really quick, crazy one. That was an Earthworm Jim too.
Well, no, like the funky one that I showed you earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what was like a song? I guess that was like something like stuck in your head as a child. That was like probably if you were to hear it now would pretty much bring back a lot of memories of your childhood.
We were just talking about that Yamaha 2612.
Yeah.
But a lot of those Genesis soundtracks do slap. But to kind of get a little more relatable, we were just talking Beethoven and Moonlight Sonata. So I think it's the third movement that's the slow one. I think it's the first is slow and the third one's a quick one. But the slow Moonlight Sonata that everyone likes and knows, the first time I heard that was from the Earthworm Jim game, where you play inside the intestines of some horrible monster, and at the end it's a game show. And but Moonlight Sonata always stuck out as kind of this creepy, mysterious, and bizarre song. So when I finally learned what it was, I was like, wait, that's an actual song? And so ever since then, like, Moonlight Sonata's been kind of a timeless song for me.
For me, it was everything in the first Fantasia from the 40s.
Oh yeah, the really well animated one.
Yes.
That was it Kernobog or Malaboj?
Chernobog.
Kernobog, yeah. Kernobog.
And well, it's like their description of it. It's like Toccata and Fugue being the first one, and the way that he describes it being as like the songs without a song without meaning, or just a song for the sake of being a song.
Yeah.
And then the animators animated Toccata and Fugue to be like that, and I was just like, it was a really wonderful art piece, and I've watched it at my grandma's house when I was a kid up at the coast every year. That and Nightmare Before Christmas, but
So was that old timey? Hold on, let me check the mic real quick. Was that old timey Fantasia the one with that dinosaur scene in it, where like the Stego was fighting the Rex?
yeah,
Nice.
I'm pretty sure, anyways. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing, but that scene stuck out to me because, autism.
Right.
Honestly, don't even remember if I had like an influential, like a song that I would remember. My mom used to listen to a lot of Don Williams, so that was something that kind of, like, whenever I listen to it now, because I do have a collection of it, like, it always is really calming to me.
Just takes you back.
Yeah, it does kind of take me back a little bit, because it was kind of calming to me then, too. But
I'll have a whole playlist just for nostalgia. But what I've recently started, because I almost feel like I've exhausted the auditory nostalgia, I've started to really get into smells. And one of the smells that really invokes a lot of memories is that incense they burn at Mass.
Oh, yeah.
And when I bought some, I was upset that it smells different. Because when it's burned, it smells... That's the smell. But raw, not the same. Or,
So why don't you burn it?
Well, we just need to burn down his car, and then we'll smell it.
Yeah, I've got some in the car right now. It's straight from a monastery, so I don't even think they say what their recipe is. Oh, but, where I was going was I found, while unpacking, a bottle of cologne I've had since 2008. So I took off the lid, I smelled it, and I had a flashback to, every prom I wore it at, or every date that I had. Every awkward high school date. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
The crazy thing is smell's huge when it comes to your memory.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I've told you, there's a part of your brain that it bypasses of your nervous system that your smell doesn't go through.
It has to go through several steps before it gets to your brain.
Yeah, and smell is one of the ones that doesn't do that. It's basically your first response to everything. So that's why you can enter a room and smell it, and especially if you are going from say you enter into your parents' house after not being there for a long time, and the smell hits you, and it's instantly you're comfortable. Or instantly you have memories of different things that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all because it bypasses that section, that step, and then it's instantly there. And that's actually one of the things you can do is to be better on tests and stuff like that. They say to use essential oils and smell rosemary oil or something like that. And then while you're studying, you study with that scent, and then when you go to take your test, you whip out that scent and you smell it again, and instantly you'll retrieve all the answers to your questions.
Dimethyltryptophan.
Right?
That's right, adenosine triphosphate. Ace the test. I think the most universally... I've got this theory. Because we had that itty-bitty campfire at the cabin the other week. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, a lot of memories. And then I began to think. What a sentence. I began to wonder, I bet the smell of wood smoke is the most universally appreciated nostalgia smell. Not just around the world, but all through time, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel that way about cigars, too. It's literally an international pastime.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of people don't smoke, but most people that do, and even people that don't, depending on the cigar, of course.
They'll know somebody with that smell.
Yeah, either folks from him or just be like, man, that smell, the smoke that comes off of them, if you get the right one, it smells really, really good.
Yeah.
Room note is what it's called.
Room note, yes. Pinky's up.
Pinky's up. It does smell really good. I mean, I have my box of tobacco in it. It's I smell it and I'm just I just want to eat it, but not at the same time. It's just it just smells insanely good.
Well, it's I went to the gas station the other day and gave me some tobacco. Mm-hmm. And it was just a crap tobacco. Mm-hmm. And it's been in a bag for 6 months or whatever. And so, it's just unopened and everything, but I go to the gas station, I get one of those zigzag wrappers. Mm-hmm. And I was joking around with the kid that I knew behind there, and I was just yeah, I'm going to use these to not make blunts for the first time ever. Nobody's ever done this before. And
in Minecraft.
And it makes a joke or something like that, and it was just a really awkward conversation with this kid, and I'm just I can't even do this with you right now. It would make literally the worst cigars I've ever smoked. In Minecraft. And
Be like, oh yes, lawn clippings.
pretty much, we want to make them more aromatic, and you can do that by just putting a little dousing a sponge with some good liquor or whatever, and let them sit for a while.
Put some Dawn dish soap in there.
Do you guys remember when bowling alleys still allowed smoking? Your clothes would like reek for like a week.
I can't say I sympathize with that. The very first, and I think the last time I went bowling was right in town, over at Stardust. And that's like, whenever I think bowling, that's the one I think of.
We should go.
Actually, I'd be down. Like, I'm not a fan of bowling, but bowling with bros sounds like a fun time.
You gotta do like the Big Lebowski. That's just what we do.
Yeah, it's like, shut the fuck up, Jeremy. Shut the fuck up, J-Man.
Right. Actually, I remember when I was over there at Stardust, of all places, the old owners or something, their kid was there one time, and I made friends with him, and he gave me a little bowling ball holder and stuff, and we hung out the entire time we were at the bowling alley, and like we got to go play all the little gambling games for free for a while.
The child gambling.
Yes, the child gambling.
Gotta start them early.
Back before it was Surprise Mechanics from EA.
Yeah. Or all of Pokemon, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I suppose so. Yeah,
Oh.
it was fun.
I
wish I could run into that kid again. I can't remember what his name was.
And that was J-Man's first love.
Yeah.
Gambling with randos as a kid.
Well, get for free at a bowling alley is really nice.
Actually,
So that's also a nice little motivator.
watch us go to that bowling alley and you guys lock eyes and you're like, is that you?
I know you.
Is that you, J-Man? You're like, it's me.
Yeah. You still got that bowling ball holder?
He
No.
pulls out. He pulls out of his back pocket. Like, oh.
I found this at Goodwill. Is
Right.
it yours?
Wow.
Yeah, any family trips that you have memories from?
Jeez, and how? My parents have always been very creative, and they were able to like travel a lot, but also being smart with their money. But my favorite trips have always been anything ocean wise.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Yeah.
I am because there's angels that sing to your bones if you go in the ocean for long enough. But
Tell me about it.
Ocean.
yeah. But I mean, there's the ocean
man,
is.
Take me by the hand.
I want to be the ocean man. I'm gonna marry the ocean. I'm gonna have kids with the ocean. It's
Spread
gonna be
essence
great.
in the ocean.
Spread essence, have offspring. Listen to angels sing to my skin.
Yeah,
and my
I'd say the
bones.
coast, like, we used to go to the coast, and I remember there was these specific little hotel that we stayed in on several occasions, and they were little, they had, like, 2 bedrooms and, like, a main room and a little kitchenette, so you could actually, like, cook your own meals, like, you rented them out, and you cook your own meals, and they were only just a little ways from the coast, so you could just walk right down. And they were right on the edge of, like, downtown. But I do remember the bakery. There was a bakery that was really close, like, only like a block away. And I remember going down there and on several occasions and getting a box of donuts. And my parents, they typically did not buy, like, sweet things like that for breakfast. So it was like a treat for us to, like, get a box of donuts for, like, breakfast in the morning. And as a little kid, you're just like, sugar! Like, I want the sugar. Give me all the sugar. Give me all these donuts. So you
funny.
get these fresh made donuts. You know, they made. You know, you walk down there. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, so they're like good fresh donuts, and you get a whole box of them. The little hotel, and you eat it. It's one of the things that's probably continuously sticks in my mind from going to the coast is staying there twice.
And donuts.
And donuts. The bakery. I still remember the bakery and the candy shop because there was a candy shop too.
Was it Lincoln City?
No,
Saltwater taffy shop.
there was it was a saltwater taffy shop. It was there, and then you could watch them make the saltwater taffy from the window. Actually, that was a different time where we actually camped in a wall tent in a camping spot on the coast, and it was kind of cold, but it was a good experience. It's a fun experience.
Do you guys want to like save up money and time and recreate these trips.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because it sounds like we
fun.
can combine your and mine pretty well. I just want to splash in the ocean.
Well,
you want to
I've
go to
got-
the spot.
Well, we like to go to the coast, like try to go every year. I want to go again this year, and just like because there's an arcade in one part that's like big and open and like.
Taffy Donuts arcade splash in the water.
Well, that's a different part, but the Taffy and Donuts is actually not all that far away from the other place. But
You talking when we went to?
yeah, the one we went to, and then
Found a couple of crabs, Jeffrey and beef curtains.
Jeffrey and Beef.
Jeffrey and beef curtains.
So
the
one of our
Yes.
stories is we were under the assumption that you didn't necessarily have to have a crabbing license to pull a crab from the ocean. Well,
you're just like, just grab willy nilly.
yeah.
Just walk out there to one of the little tide pools and be like, "Boop."
So, because there was a lot of like Dungeness crabs just walking along the beach. See, we go out in the tide. The weather was really nice. It happened to be really nice. So we were just out there. We were like shorts and t-shirts, which for that part of the coast is pretty unheard of most of the year. So we're out there, and we're having a good time. And we watched the tide come in, and if you stood out in the tide, it would go out just fast enough that you could see these Dungeness crabs just under the surface. So if you were fast, you watch it, you follow it, and you just scoop it right up out of the water.
Scoop, have a free friend.
And then you could you flip it over, and you could identify if it was male or female, and then you'd toss it back if it was a female.
Let her have her eggies.
Yeah, let her have her eggs.
Her
But
eggies.
we ended up grabbing 2 of them, cooking them, and we had like some of the best crab ramen I've ever had.
Oh.
Didn't
Yeah, there's some random guy that asked us if we had a license, and we're like, yeah, sure.
boy, you got a license for that?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty much how it is, and it came out of nowhere. Like we were just walking around, I'm like, who the hell said that?
Oh.
I was like, yes.
Sure.
And so,
All right. You got your license,
signed by the Queen.
Needless to say, the next time we go, we'll probably definitely get a crab license and actually
screw
do
that.
it and do it right.
Screw that. We
but-
only took like 2 friggin' crabs, and they were
It's true.
of legal
Legal size.
gender and size. So
Yeah.
screw it.
That's true.
Jeffrey and
We-
beef curtains.
Yes.
I guess that beats like stealing a whole half a pot of crabs when I was in Alaska.
So
Although that boat had like 20 freaking pots out, they weren't gonna miss like freaking 10 crabs.
Somebody
you
got
probably eat good out on the boats. You just get fresh.
Fresh fish all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
no,
like
that was-
sea turtles start eating jellyfish that you see.
Yeah.
That seems like a quick way.
I
for
hate
the angel of the sea.
Dude,
to
jellyfish are
shoot your
like
bones.
are horrible. They get in with the regular fish and they plug up the refrigeration system all the time.
Oh.
It's just like gnarly.
That's why you like
Anyways,
plunger the.
you can't. You have to just like pump water through. Like you have to like reverse the flow on the water to push them back out and stuff like that. It gets all over on the deck and they're slippery.
Yes.
Huh. They may be biologically immortal, but they're not biologically not annoying.
I liked the northern sea nettles. Like I would watch them. They're white and they were striped. But they would just kind of float around like this. I'd sit and watch them for hours. The moon jellyfish were fun because they're just perfectly harmless. But they would just like float around and
Do their thing.
do their thing. Yeah. The northern sea nettles were the ones that we had to worry about the most, though.
Living up to their name.
Yeah.
Well, lads, it's a time.
Better
It's a
wrap this up.
It's a special kind of 12 a.m. Cowboy. Pew, pew, pew.
Special time of the night. Or my bed is calling to me from how far away it is.